What is up, YouTube? Today I'll be doing yet another video. Today I'll be reviewing something that I normally don't watch. This is recommended from one of my good friends, and it is a crime/gang movie. Normally I don't watch these kind of movies. I got recommended from a good friend of mine, and I am so happy that I actually watched this. I really enjoyed myself in this movie. It goes about 3 hours, 3 hours and 10 minutes. First thing first, I love the music. I love the Spanish Armada and all the Mexican music that is played throughout this movie. I would love to say everything about this movie, but I have to keep it a little bit shorter, just because if I get into everything, it would just drag on and I won't be able to get through everything anyway, so... these are all Mexican names. I'm not Mexican, I can't say the names, so I'm going to do my best. Sorry about the pronunciations, but give it my best shot. So, it follows Mikolo, played by Damien Chapa. His life is not going to plan. He's on parole, he's going down the wrong path, and he just can't seem to get out of it. And he is the stronger character in this film. I stand by him, I stand behind him, and he just steals the whole show throughout this whole flick. And also alongside him is Paco, played by Damien Pratt. He is also a really strong character. The developments between these characters throughout this whole movie is outstanding, and I absolutely love the dynamic between these two from the start to the beginning, even if it does fade away and they're not as close or don't care for the same things towards the end, but it's awesome. It starts off with Mikolo coming back on parole. He is not looking the greatest. He's still doing the same old thing, getting into trouble, and he's just not going down the path that he should be going down. And you see it. You see him get further down the track that he shouldn't be going down, and everyone around him is pushing him towards the path that you see towards the end that it, sadly, isn't going to be the best for him. And Paco, he is also down that track, but we'll get to that later on in the video. The first big clash between the gangs in the local town is when Paco sees these local gangs graffitiing the alley that they live on, and obviously they don't like that. So Mikolo, he goes up to confront them. He smashes some of the car windows, and they get into a little scruff, and that's where it all leads from there. Goes pretty downhill from them in that perspective. Also, another important character in this film is Cruz, a very good painter. He is getting up in his life. He gets a scholarship and everything's looking good for him. He is also played by Jesse Brugger. I don't know how to say his last name. But he was also there when Mikolo smashed the car windows. And with Cruz, it doesn't end as smoothly as it does the other two. The gang finds out that he's doing a art exhibition, and they get him, kidnap him, and severely hurt his back, cuts up his arm as well, and he is traumatized by it. He can't walk properly, and that's when the drug abuse starts with him, and that's where his character spreads out and goes into its own little story. And it's kind of cool to see how there's 3 different angles of this story. There's Mikolo, who is going to be in jail, and you see him, his side of the story, and then you see Paco's side of the story. He becomes a cop because of, I'll talk to that about later, and it sees Cruz, his side of the story, a drug addict and artist and all that kind of stuff, and it fits well in this. It has to be 3 hours long because I can't see it being any shorter than this without telling a whole story, so well done on them. But like I said before, Cruz, he severely got beaten up. So Mikolo and Paco, they got their gang together and went after the gang that did that to them. Stingray. I can't remember his name. I'm not too good with the names, and I have to write it down. And I couldn't find the names anywhere for some reason. So they get there, and they ambush the whole gang, and basically everything just gets out of control. The gang member of the gang they're going after, he dies. The police show up, they chase them down, and sadly, Mikolo goes to jail, and you see later on that Paco becomes a cop. Because of Cruz's drug habits. Sadly, their younger brother OD'd on his drugs. It was on the table and he saw him do it, so he was like, my big brother can do it, I can do it. So he ends up dying, and Paco will never forgive Cruz, and that's where they spread out. Paco wants to get all the drugs and everything off the streets, and Paco he just doesn't know what to do with his life. He's so out of whack on drugs. His painting's not getting sold, he doesn't have money, and that just leads into drug abuse and just everything like that in general. So, but on to Mikolo. Because of his white skin, the Mexican gangs don't accept him because of his skin, and he sees that and they're pushing him away. But then he finds a way to convince the head gang member that he can get into places where they necessarily can't. And this leads into the whole blood in, blood out. That basically means that you have to kill someone to become a member of our gang. So the victim of Mikolo is this chef guy. I totally forgot his name. He is the distributor of all the gambling and all the money in the prison. And he wants to kill him, and that will basically bring him into the gang, because that is a big kill, and they'll accept him easily for that one. But things don't go down to plan. He realizes that there is a lot more money and a lot more dodgy stuff going on than once revealed. He ends up killing him, taking his money, and taking all the names in the gambling book. And he gets underneath this guard who helps him with the money laundering and everything. And so interesting to see all that happening so fluently, and I love all that, like trading. I love Shawshank Redemption and all those prison movies like that, and I was really happy to see it's done well in this. But Mikolo comes out of jail because he got paroled. Everyone's happy and he wants to be out, but sadly he still is down that track. He is prevented to rob, and it doesn't go down well. Paco's there, and they confront each other. Mikolo, he doesn't want to go back to prison, and Paco don't want to send him to prison, but he also doesn't want him to get away because of what he stands for, and he stands for right is always good and stuff like that. So it is left with one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. Paco has to choose between what's right and what he wants, and sadly he chooses what's right, and it leaves Mikolo without a leg. So with that scene ending, it leads to Mikolo going back to jail, but now the money laundering is turning into this big drug organization inside the jail. And basically, they all are working together. The Mexicans wants to get good with the blacks, and get rid of the the white people, the Nazis or whatever they're called, like skinheads and shit like that. But I forgot to mention before, Montana, I have no idea who he's played by. I forgot to write that down. He is the Mexican gang leader, and he's been helping Mikolo out, and Mikolo's been helping him out. But when he's meeting his daughter for the first time in 20 years or 10 years, I can't remember how long he said, he is murdered by a prisoner next beside him, and that leads to the whole prison breaking out in a rant, and they want to basically kill everyone and anything, because the one person that was keeping the peace and the one person that was in there to make sure everyone was getting along and it all fit is dead. So once that person's dead, everything just breaks down and hell breaks out. So that leads to basically the Mexican gang getting rid of the blacks and the whites, and so they can control the whole prison. And basically Mikolo gets what he wants in prison. He gets the money, he gets the leadership, and he gets basically the whole prison is under his fingernails, and it's really crazy to see how that panned out through the whole movie. And Paco, he got what he wanted. He got redemption with his brother Cruz and his mother and father over the death of his youngest son. And same with Cruz, he got the redemption that he really needed. He got the approval from his father and his brother Paco, and also his mother. So they are all happy, forgiving, and Paco and Cruz is together, happy. Sadly, Mikolo is still in prison, and that's where it ends. I don't know what's happening with Mikolo. He's probably doing it strong in prison, and is doing what he wants to do. Yes, I know I missed a lot in this video, but I can't get everything because it has to be a multiple watch. There was so many things to digest, and so many different parts in this movie. I just couldn't keep up, and this is my honest and my best effort, and hopefully this works out. But now this is time to give the final verdict, and I am happy to give it a well-deserved 8 out of 10. This is a fantastic movie. I am so happy I got suggested to watch this, and you definitely should check it out if you haven't seen it. Blood in, blood out. If you've seen it, please comment your thoughts, and I will be down there to discuss anything further. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Blood in, blood out, SA. Good movie. See you guys later.